Stick with me, I got another video for you today. I'm headed up into a mountain stream, throw some dry flies on the Tenkara rod. I'm going to jump into this stream, which I fished several times in the past, maybe only once on video. At the last place I've ever, like the highest up the stream I've ever been, I'm going to jump in there and I'm going to fly fish up using small dries, hoping to catch some wild trout. And it should be an adventure. Hoping to have supper here tonight, so stick with me. Should have some fun. Alright, so I've hiked pretty hard for a little while. I've gotten up above the highest place I've ever fished on this stream. On the trail I met some hikers, and I'm sure this place is getting a little pressure lower down. There's some beautiful water and trout lower down, so I'm up quite a bit higher. I may still run into people, but let's see what we can get done. I'm gonna start here and then start moving up, and I'm fishing dry flies on the Tenkara, like I said. Something I hadn't done. I've used a different Tenkara in the past for tight line nymphing. I caught my personal best brown trout doing that. But I bought this one for a backpacking trip here a couple years ago. It was softer than I liked for that style, and I just haven't used it. But I think it would be okay for dry flies. It may be a little long for this creek. I don't know. We're going to find out. Let's see what happens. Alright, so I am getting takes. I got a couple takes back over there. Let's saw that little riffle right there. But the fish is probably 3 inches long. And so what I'm using is just a little white stimulator. So we're going to try this pattern a little bit, and I'll switch it out as I go. I'm trying to decide if I want to wade up or get back out and go up. I think go up and try to hit some more pocket water. Let's see how this goes. These fish may be tiny. I may have to go down to a much smaller fly. It's like a beautiful little hole. Let's see what we can get done here. Move over here. Try not to slip in. Oh, I saw one move down and hide under a rock over there. Oh. I got one. Woo. Look at this, guys. That is one tiny rainbow. Guys, that was a tiny little rainbow. We took that stimulator. I'm going to change out flies. That fly is a little big, I believe, for this stream, and I'm having trouble seeing it. It's wetted out anyway, so I'm gonna change out to something a little smaller, something I can see real well, and we'll see what happens from here. I'm gonna move up and see if we can catch some more. Oh, I saw one in there. I missed one earlier. I saw it move right then. I don't know if it's the same fish. Oh, missed it again. I saw the take that time. Got its fly off a little bit. This is one of those times I almost wish I was running a dry dropper rig. It's slightly bigger than what I need, like a foam. It's just a little bigger, like a size 16, maybe. There we go. Just when I thought they couldn't get no smaller. Look at that. Look at the size of that little joker. Another crossing of this little creek that feeds into a tributary of the main stream I was on. Just curious if there's something here. Because I wonder how often this might get fished. I'm probably quite a bit higher up than most people would fish it anyway. But there's always some people that will, like me. Nothing. I'm gonna keep moving up. I'm away from the main stream now. I'm gonna follow this trail up a little ways. See if I run back into the main stream. If I don't, I'm gonna turn around and find a good spot to eat supper. If I do, I might fish a little bit more or eat supper first. I don't know. This place does have a kind of a, we're supposed to be out of here by dark, so I don't want to break the rules, and I don't want to have some search party looking for me either. So we're gonna go ahead and head up a ways and see if I can come back into the main stream. If not, like I said, it's supper time for me. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and have some supper. That trail goes way too far, I think, around to get back to the main stream. I won't have time this afternoon. So if it were up to me, I would just go until dark and then camp and come back out tomorrow. But this particular area of the wilderness, you're not allowed to do that. So I am going to sit down, eat me some supper, and then we'll get back down. I may stop at a couple nicer pools that don't look occupied and just see what happens. But for now, I'm just going to eat some supper and hang out here for a minute. I'm on this little rock ledge overlooking this tiny little creek. I truly believe there's probably brookies somewhere in that creek. it would be hard to fish, but doable. I don't have the setup for that today, but maybe in the future. Got some water on to make me a cup of coffee. I got my instant black rifle with me today, but I'll get that heated up for coffee, and then I'll go ahead and get the main dish on. So what I got with me today, I'm gonna make up some yellow rice, and then I've got this Casaberry shredded pork chili with pinto beans to mix in with it. That should be pretty good. What I'll probably do is just boil the rice till it gets almost done, and then I'll just dump this in just to warm it up. Should be great. All right, that water is already safe to drink, so I don't have to worry about it boiling. It's at a kind of a low rolling boil right now, so I don't have to worry about it too much. I believe the rice is boiling nicely, so a little bit of time now. So I added it in, the pork and pinto beans and all that, and I'm just letting it warm up a little bit. The rice is done. Should be a pretty hearty meal. Not sure I can eat the whole thing myself. If I can, I'll store it in my pack sitting upright, and I hope I don't cause myself a pretty bad mess. Alright. Let that cool down enough for me to eat it. It's going to be a pretty hearty meal. Let's see if my coffee's cool enough. Yeah, it's cool enough. Coffee always hits the spot. I used to not like it that much, but now I drink it at least once a day, every day. Love it. Let's give this food a taste here. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Not too bad. How much of this we can get in us. That's a pretty hearty meal. I'm enjoying my meal, my coffee. Let's see how much time we have left. Start heading back. Maybe hit some spots that I didn't hit on the way up or whatever. See how things go. I'm pretty good ways up here, so we'll see how much time I have. You know, one thing I've noticed, the people I have seen on the trails coming up in here, they didn't have very much with them. Either no backpacks, a fanny pack, a light backpack. But especially somebody that's getting off trail. But even just on the trails, you should, even in summer, you should have stuff with you. So I didn't finish my whole meal. It was more than I could eat. I also have another serving of rice with me. I packed my meal up very carefully in that canteen cup and stashed it in my backpack in such a way it shouldn't spill. So I've got, you know, a couple knives with me, you know, a belt knife and a jackknife, multiple ways of starting fire, some protection, I'll just say that, and a couple extra layers appropriate for the season that should keep me warm well below the temps that I would expect to encounter if I spent the night here. I have a tarp shelter with me with a ready-made ridge line. And I could easily, you know, if I hit the wrong creek and got lost, got turned around, I could spend the night here. I could camp here just like I am tonight. I feel comfortable doing that. I don't have a sleeping bag with me, but I'm sure I could get some leaves together, a tarp shelter, get a fire going, and I'll be fine. Always bring enough with you to spend 3 days in the woods, you know, and know what that is to keep you safe for the season you're in and the terrain. Especially if you're going off trail like I've been doing. But even if you are on trail, you never know. If you're by yourself, out of cell phone reach, anything can happen. It's just, you know, not me trying to be preachy, but just me giving the word of the wise. It always makes my heart sink when I see a report that someone's missing on a trail. And most of the time they're found, but sometimes they're not. And, you know, I have a compass with me. And I mean, I'm quite positive I would find my way back to where I need to be, and I would be okay for a couple days anyway. But it's just food for thought. You know, I've got, like I said, even if I spend an uncomfortable night, right? Just an uncomfortable night in the woods, I've got a headlamp and a backup flashlight that is more than bright enough. And I'm not overburdened with gear for a day hike. It's just something that I wish everybody would put into practice, and I don't see it that often. But food for thought. Here's a cool little rock overhang. That's another little shelter area. If the storms are real bad and the wind, you can just tuck right up under that bad boy, put your tarp right here, you know, and like a plow point. If you don't know what that is, I might, you know, you can either YouTube it, or later on I may do a video on that. You'll probably see me camping in one. I do like that shelter. But right here to kind of help block the wind. And man, you can stay right here all night. It'd be a little cool down here in this little creek area. But you could fill that up with leaves and build a fire right here. It's probably right there in that rock, against that rock, and you'd probably be all right. Like I said, there'd be a little bit of a draft of air right here. I might push higher up on the ridge. But it depends on the weather. If the storms were bad and there's a lot of wind, yeah, probably right here. The only word would be that creek getting up too high. And believe it or not, that tiny creek I was beside could definitely get up high enough to get up in here to me. In a bad rain up in the mountains, they just flash flood. But yeah, I mean, I could tuck back up under that other rock, just something to give me some protection from falling trees. But all right, I'll head on down the trail here, and I might stop, I might not, depending on what I see on my way back. I think I'm gonna try one more spot. I realized a little ways back that I lost my favorite pair of forceps, so that sucks. But I think I'm gonna try right here. I'm down below where I started. So let's just see what happens here. Just curious about it. That was a horrible bow and arrow cast. Horrible. All right. I don't mind camping up in here at some point. That'd be cool. Go pretty deep up in there and camp with better gear. I was trying to be preachy earlier about the gear and people coming into these areas too light, what they have with them. But There's definitely something that needs to be said more than it's being said, and people need to put it into practice. I try. Sometimes when I'm hunting, I don't follow my own advice, but I try to never, ever, ever go into the woods without enough stuff to spend the night. If I couldn't spend the night and wake up, make it through the night, then I am woefully unprepared. How's it going, guys? If you've stuck with me this far, thank you. And please like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend. And follow for more content like this and other things outdoor related. Have a good one.